I am going to talk about why I don't engage with apologists anymore. I used to be a debate bro. I have watched or otherwise participated in hundreds and hundreds of debates, but I started to feel that debate is ultimately performative. Go to any YouTube channel that hosts debates, watch the debate on that neutral channel, and then if both debaters posted on their channel, go read the comments on one, go read the comments on the other, and you will see that there's no rational discussion happening here. Like, channel A will say, it's clear that debater A destroyed debater B. What a joke. And then you go to channel B, and it's the same thing, completely opposite. It's performative. You're performing for the people who already agree with you. I think this is especially true of apologetics, and apologists do this for a living. The goal of apologetics is not offensive, meaning it's not to convince anybody else. Apologetics is a defense. It's there to make people who already believe feel better about what they believe. That is what allows it to go to any length to defend any position. With enough mental energy and mental gymnastics, you can rationalize anything, literally anything. That's why, to the external observer, when we're looking into religious circles and we hear apologists throwing out these absurd arguments, to us it seems absurd, but to them it makes complete sense. When you're in the system, you accept everything and anything that will make you feel justified about being in that system. It's not really about the truth. It's not about finding the truth or finding reliable pathways to the truth. It's about pushing the idea you believe as far as you possibly can, which turns out to be essentially an infinite distance. Belief is categorically separate from rationality in most cases. Belief is an intuitive, emotional, experiential thing. Rationality is separate from that. Rationality is there to make you feel better about what you believe, regardless of whether it's true or not. The smarter you are, the more situated you are to construct clever linguistic expressions to rationalize your belief that you hold intuitively and convince yourself that it is rational. Now, I don't think that we should engage with apologists, partially because of this reason. Apologists are not interested in digging down to the truth. Apologists are interested in providing relief from the cognitive dissonance that they and their followers experience when they're confronted with what we find in our world that contradict their beliefs. When we platform apologists, we in some sense legitimize what they're saying to their followers. The famous YouTuber Alex O'Connor, he used to be called Cosmic Skeptic, he has a podcast called Within Reason. Now, he recently hosted William Lane Craig, an apologist, and William Lane Craig is defending Canaanite genocide from the Hebrew Bible. Should we really be platforming William Lane Craig on a podcast called Within Reason? What part of defending genocide is within reason? I'm all for the free expression of ideas, and William Lane Craig should be able to say what he wants to say. But should we be really acting as if his idea here is worthy of being discussed with us or debated? And on a podcast called Within Reason, no less? If someone was arguing that we ought to reinstitutionalize slavery or something equally abhorrent as defending genocide, I don't think we'd be inviting them to discuss it with us. We would just dismiss it outright on its face for how absurdly evil it is. I understand the need to deconstruct these ideas, and I know it's naive to think that they're just going to disappear if we ignore them. I'm not suggesting we ignore them, but when we platform these people, we legitimize these ideas and we say these are worthy of being on a level with what we're saying, which is genocide is wrong, always. I don't care if it's in your book. We believe that genocide is wrong. We have no problem saying we think genocide is wrong. William Lane Craig has a problem saying genocide is always wrong because he has found genocide in his Bible, which he believes he needs to defend at all costs. And so he constructs these elaborate arguments for why he can do that. I think that's completely absurd. I don't know why we give any attention to it at all. By which I mean, I don't know why we invite him to discuss it with us. Writing argumentation down, putting it out there, response videos, all great. But so much of apologetics, so many arguments, so much doctrine is so clearly wrong to me, morally, that to see people like lift it up as if it's worthy of being debated, it blows my mind. Why are we debating if genocide can be defendable or excusable for anybody? I think that post-Enlightenment rational thinking has risen above theology. Theology was a stepping stone, a springboard. Religion was what humanity needed to bind together and survive until today. I think we have the means to move past that. When you put ancient, religiously ideological thinking on a level with modern, rationalized thought, you're saying these things can go at each other. Clearly not to me. Why are we defending genocide? Genocide is happening around the world today, now. You can see its effects. I don't understand how someone can look at that and say, no, that's wrong, and then go in their book and say, no, this is right, because God says so. This is why historical context is important. We put the Bible in its historical place, and we understand that these were just people writing polemics against their rival nations who they wanted to destroy, who they often did destroy, and they justified it by appealing to God, just like William Lane Craig is doing right now. It's disturbing. And I don't think that William Lane Craig is an evil person. I think without religion, he would never defend this. But he feels that he has to, and apologists feel that they have to. And so religious people feel that they have to. They feel like they have to defend the Bible at all costs, when it's entirely reasonable for a religious person to say, this is a product of its time, I'm going to respect it for what it is, and they can still retain their faith. They don't need to just throw out their faith because they say, this book has some outdated things in it that we can set aside. That doesn't destroy the faith. Religious people extract from their holy books whatever they want at all times. They're already negotiating with the text at all times. The fact that they already negotiate away these things, meaning they've accepted somewhere in their mind that that's possible to do, and yet they defend the most disgusting parts of the Bible anyway? Why? It's entirely arbitrary. You can just take whatever you want out of the Bible, and the fact that what you want to take out of the Bible is that genocide is defensible is disgusting. What changes people's minds is experience. You can't rationalize a person out of a belief that they did not arrive at through rationality. For us, on the outside, we simply have to live well, give these people an example of what life can look like outside of the cult, contrary to the lie that they're taught, and insist that ideas like genocide, slavery, it's not up for debate. We're over that. If they want to discuss that amongst themselves and pat each other on the back that they're able to rationalize away genocide, free expression, free thought, I love it. They're welcome to do that, but I don't think that we should engage with it. Not directly. Apologists want to rile you up. They want to get you upset so that you misstep. Do not let them do that to you. All philosophical arguments for God are arguments from ignorance, except the ontological, which is simply circular. We can just dismiss these arguments. They're fundamentally fallacious. They are grounded in fallacy. We don't need to take seriously arguments from ignorance. No matter how clever or elaborate or even intuitively powerful they are, if they're based on a fallacy, we can dismiss them. And we can focus on things that actually help us make the world a better place, like eliminating genocide and not defending it, like reducing suffering for everybody on this planet as much as we can. It feels like such a waste of time to me to argue about these things that we don't have any evidence for anyway. All the argumentation is completely imaginary. It's all in their heads. There's nothing outside of that that they can point to. So it's completely irrelevant at this point to me. I'm not saying that religious belief or spirituality is irrelevant. Obviously not. It means a lot to a lot of people. But apologetics, this pursuit of reasoned defense of religious belief, is just completely absurd to me. It completely detaches from what religion has meant to most people throughout most time. A personal faith, a connection with something greater than yourself, piety, submission, reverence, hope, faith. The most pure faith is not built on the Kalam cosmological argument, the teleological argument. It's a pure openness and reverence to God. That's it. I have no problem with that. But man, I hate apologetics. I have more thoughts on this. I'm probably going to save them for future videos, but if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you think we should be taking these people head on because that's the best way to deal with these ideas, let me know. Like, I'm open to my mind being changed on this. If we really want people to stop defending genocide, is it better to take them head on like Alex O'Connor seems to be doing, or is it better to just say, hey, I'm not going to debate that because that's weird? At the end of the day, I don't know. I'm leaning towards that's too far, man. I'm going to step aside and let you just ramble and do your thing for your followers, but I'm not going to engage with you. I'm leaning that way, but I could have my mind changed. Anyway, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.